Watch and burn.
Hey everybody. So tonight I want to discuss the 1988 Canadian film Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler. Now look, I know the lion's share of my viewership comes from the United States. It really depends on the day. Sometimes that's like 100%, sometimes it's 85%, sometimes it's 90-something%. But like I said, predominantly my viewership comes from the United States. Occasionally I get a percentage from Canada here and there. Nobody's going to know what this movie is. I saw this movie back when I was a kid because I was really into stamps, and well, the two just kind of go hand in hand. This was made, I think, officially with the government of Canada sort of giving their nod to this film, because at this point the government was pushing sort of stamp collecting kits through various post offices. I lived really close to a post office where I was in Pickering, and they sold all the stamp collecting kits with the binders and the tweezers and all the shit you need and the gum to mount them properly. And oh, it's a big thing. And I was so into it. So when I found out there was a movie, and I remember the movie was being pushed in cooperation with the post office. Oh my God, this could not be more Canadian. So basically what this tells the story of, okay, is a kid named Ralph and his sister Nancy and this kid Tommy. And his buddy Cass, to a point, who's played by the really good-looking Paul Popowich, who was in Catwalk and a bunch of other stuff. I'm pretty sure Paul Popowich is still acting right up until this minute. Man, I imagine he's still really good-looking, too. But anyways, I have no idea, but I know he's still going, so Paul Popowich has been acting forever. He's in this. He plays Tommy's idiot friend, Cass. But yeah, basically what this is Ralph ends up trading away one of his father's more rare, I think it was a man on the mast. Oh, fuck. Was it the Blue Nose? It doesn't matter. It's an expensive stamp. He ends up trading it wrongly away to Tommy. His dad gets really mad. He ends up with this cheaper collection of stamps that the stamp store gives to him. And he ends up ripping it open, and he finds in there a letter that tells you how to travel around the world using stamps. Say this little speech, yada, yada, yada. And the other thing, the effects, the use of the animation is really, really well done. Because I've watched this movie a bunch of times over the course of the past, 35 years or so, and I just watched it a couple weeks ago. As of here it is, October 2023, and yeah, the effects still stand up. That use of the animation worked really well. So Ralph ends up getting to travel around the world, which is very cool. My favorite thing about this movie was how they went to the real locations. They actually went to Australia and China, which is incredibly fun. My main complaint about this movie is just too long. Like, they could have easily shaved a half an hour off this. It just runs way too long. It also works out to being one of the best mall movies, too, which I don't know, people sort of... I love mall movies. Like, when I think of great mall movies, I think of this movie. I think of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Of course, Chopping Mall, but that's like the ultimate mall movie, because the entire thing takes place in a mall. But then again, another ultimate mall movie would be Dawn of the Dead, because again, that entire thing takes place in a mall. But this is a really good mall movie too, because of that scene at the mall at the start when Tommy and Cass are trying to catch Ralph and the nerdy kid who's the head of the stamp club, can't remember his name, through the mall. And I just love that. The other thing that's cool about this movie is like a 10-year-old Rufus Wainwright is in this. For anybody that knows him, he is a Canadian musician who's been around forever. He plays a kid that writes a lot of music in this. And he is the kid that performs the song that's being played during the chase at the mall. And then his sister, Martha Wainwright, is the person singing on the last song, the end credit song. And I love both the songs. I've loved them since I was a kid. And so that's fun because it's Rufus and Martha Wainwright, which is awesome. So her voice is in this, and Rufus himself is in this movie, again, when he's like 10. The kid on the big skateboard, I thought that kid was so rad too. See, what else did I want to say? Oh yeah, I totally had a thing for his sister Nancy when I was a kid. Holy fuck, was I into her. Let's see. All right, I'm done. I said everything I wanted to say. Oh, yes, that's right. There has to be some sort of lesson learned or a skill gained or a sort of a disability lost. And Ralph stutters, but because of everything he goes through throughout the course of the movie, by the end of the film, his stutter is gone. So there it is. Positive, uplifting, fun kids movie from way back. Runs a little long. But anyways, look, that's it. So thank you so much for... Oh, wait. No. I wanted to talk about the opening credits. The opening credits are so rad. They're a series of postcards with everybody's name on it, whoever they did, saying whatever it was, whether they acted in it, whether they were the cinematographer, the director, so on and so forth. They come by on postcards. So I absolutely love the opening credits as well. And the opening credits kind of remind me of what they would do many, many years later. Has nothing to do with this movie. What the people who did SLC Punk would do with their opening credits, using all like the punk rock 7 inches with everybody's name on it. It is completely reminiscent of what these people did here with the opening credits from Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler. Now I'm done. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for just about 6 minutes while I discussed the 1988 very Canadian film Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler. I don't even know why I'm talking... Well, I'm talking about it because I love this movie. But I know nobody else in the world gives a fuck. Who cares? But yeah, so like always, if you like this review or you like this movie, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. But please, most importantly, don't forget that the world is actually a better place because you're in it. I'm getting out of here because it's fucking hot. So, have a good night.